What's going on, my PT peeps? I'm a Walking Dead family. One Eyebrow back from the PT channel to talk about The Walking Dead Season 9. Norman Reedus, Andrew Lincoln, Carl Grimes, all this stuff. Obviously, spoiler warning. If you don't know what we're talking about, you don't want to know, you're just worried about spoilers, stop watching now. But it's just crazy to think that we had Memorial Day on Monday, and then boom, Tuesday, we had this bomb dropped on us that Andrew Lincoln is leaving the show this season, Season 9. But before we get to that, guys, if you love The Walking Dead like we do, join our Walking Dead family. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. We talk about The Walking Dead and various content, and we have a lot of fun. Now, The Walking Dead, to a lot of people, is the Rick Grimes show, the Rick Grimes story. If it's not the Rick Grimes story, and it's not the Carl Grimes story, whose story is it? Judith's? Well, the comic and the show are going to be drastically different. Not sure how long the show will continue on, but Season 9 is not the last season, guys. Andrew Lincoln is leaving, potentially unconfirmed, but more and more information is coming out that leads us to believe that it's going to happen. And it's going to suck, but Andrew Lincoln and Norman Reedus, and Carol, are the last people of the main survivors of Season 1. And we have heard countless times from Robert Kirkman that Rick Grimes is not going to survive the entire show, the entire series. Well, he says series. We don't know if it's the show or the comic, but overall, why does Rick leave? The whole point of The Walking Dead to me is for Rick Grimes to find his family, Lori and Carl. He does that, then Lori dies, giving birth to Judith, which is okay. Lori was pretty terrible in my eyes, so she was gone. That was okay. But the Carl death, I think, is a drastic change. And everybody, including Andrew Lincoln, hates it. So with Carl gone and Andrew Lincoln set to leave, Norman Reedus is supposedly going to be the new lead with some $20 million contract extension or deal that he's going to be the lead for however long the series lasts. Again, guys, Season 9 is not the last season as of right now. I would assume that AMC will let everybody in the world know when the final season of The Walking Dead is going to be, but we have no word on that. Andrew Lincoln is just leaving. He's going to be in 6 episodes with Norman Reedus taking over the lead. They're going to phase Andrew Lincoln out and put more emphasis on Daryl being the new lead. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. But I would assume that Andrew Lincoln was pissed, upset about Carl dying, as most fans were. Especially if Chandler Riggs has been a part of the show for a long, long time, and Carl Grimes is Rick Grimes' son. How can Rick go on after Carl Grimes is dead? That's a good stopping point, Andrew Lincoln says, for Rick. How can Rick go on? Why should Rick go on? The war is over, everything's set, everything's calm, so Carl's gone. What's the point of Rick going on? The whole point was for Rick to build this life for Carl. Now Carl's gone, why should Rick continue on? It's a zombie apocalypse. This isn't some paradise. This is a terrible place to live. Now we'll see what happens with Rick and Michonne. Not sure if Michonne's going to stay on or not, but Andrew Lincoln is supposedly leaving. We don't have 100% proof on that or confirmed information. It's been going around from different sites, and there's been no actual footage of Andrew Lincoln saying that he's leaving and why he's leaving specifically. If it's actually 6 episodes or not, or the contract, or does he have a contract and he's breaking it. But Carl's death had to affect him. I don't know how much. But Andrew Lincoln looks to be leaving, and I know a lot of people are pissed. And they're saying that the show is going to be dead. And they said the same thing about Glenn, and the same thing about Carl, and now Rick. And yes, the viewers are down on the live dates on Sundays, but overall, The Walking Dead is still very popular. And I think a lot of people are going to watch Season 9 to see if it's true or not. I'm not going to give up on the show, and I don't think you should either. I think the show can continue on. Again, guys, Season 9 is not the last season. As of right now, AMC continues to have a plan for beyond Season 9. Maybe Season 10's the last one. Maybe they wanted to go 12 seasons, and maybe they're going to go 10 seasons. We'll see what happens overall, but I'm not giving up on the show. And if people watch the show, great. If they don't, I don't know what to tell you. I'm just excited to see how it plays out. I think Season 9 can be very good. Remember, guys, a lot of people always thought that Rick Grimes wasn't going to survive the entire show. I thought he would die towards the end of the series, maybe the last episode or the second to last episode. But I think the writers really messed up here with killing Carl, which really affected Rick Grimes and Andrew Lincoln. Because what's the point for Rick to go on if his family's dead? It makes no sense, right? I guess he could start a new family with Michonne, but Carl was his son. The whole point of this is Carl to take over when he's done. Now, Andrew Lincoln does have a real family. That's his wife and kids right there. And Andrew Lincoln and his family live in London, not the United States. So that's a pretty far trip to be in Georgia for half the time and then in London half the time. And I'm not sure how old his kids are now, but it's probably tough that he misses his family. He might want to go and make more movies, or maybe he just wants to be home with his family in London. That's okay. He can do what he wants, and good for him. I wish him all the best. Andrew Lincoln can do what he wants. He's done a lot of good things for The Walking Dead show, and maybe it's just been time for him to be done with it. Maybe he wants to move on to different things, and that's okay. But how will The Walking Dead end now? Remember, Andrew Lincoln is just leaving. He's not getting killed off. Maybe he goes off into the sunset and we don't see him for a while. Maybe he goes to Fear the Walking Dead. A lot of things. We just don't know because we're still waiting to hear confirmed information. But with Daryl Dixon taking over as lead, that's a huge difference from the comic and a huge change. It can still work. A lot of new characters coming into the fold this season. Maybe the show does well. Maybe it's not the same. Maybe it's even better. You never know. Just because Rick Grimes is leaving doesn't mean that the show can't survive. The fans, if they give up on the show will die. But I want to see The Walking Dead to continue on for many more seasons, but I also want the product to be good. I just don't want The Walking Dead to go on for 12 seasons and it be terrible after Rick leaves. So if the decision is that they need to cut it after season 10, that's okay. I'm excited for the future of The Walking Dead. I want to see how it plays out. Rick and Daryl are a great team, but we're going to be getting new characters this season most likely. Maybe Magna, Yumiko, Magna's group. We'll see what happens with Sadiq, Rosita, Ezekiel, a bunch of characters, a bunch of new characters on there too. So A New Beginning storyline, issue 127 and volume 22, I believe, is pretty good. I'm excited to see how it happens on the show. What are the differences? What are the changes? And the show is the show and the comic is the comic. And we'll have variations and deviations and different changes, that's for sure. And we're going to have to now. But some of these new characters could be fan favorites. Some people could love Yumiko and Magna and maybe even Alpha and Beta if they come. But we'll see what happens. I'm not giving up on the show. I'm not sure if you should or not, but only time will tell if season 9 is good or not. Now, if you follow Norman Reedus on Instagram at Big Bald Head, that's his name, he posted this picture with a heart as the comment. What does this mean? That Andrew Lincoln is definitely leaving? That Norman's adding fuel to the fire? But the word is that Norman Reedus did sign that $20 million deal to stay on The Walking Dead as the new lead. That's crazy if that's true. But in this picture, this is the season 8 finale picture of the cast. And there's some great characters in this picture. Even with Rick, Maggie, and Morgan leaving, there's still a lot of beloved characters. And remember, the show is the show and the comic is the comic. With some deviations on the show and the comic, there's been some good parts on the show that weren't in the comic and vice versa. But Daryl Dixon is not a part of the comic, he's just for the show. And I know a lot of people that Daryl is their favorite character. And yes, he's not the leader, he's never been the leader, and he's really been Rick's right-hand man. And it's different if you're the leader versus the assistant coach. You know, that's a big difference. But Carol is still there. People love Carol, people love Daryl. Them together can be pretty dangerous, and it can definitely work. Now, we lost a lot of beloved characters as of season 7, season 8, and then into season 9, we're probably going to lose more characters. But with Daryl and Carol, and Michonne's still there. She could still be around for a long time, even though I know everyone's saying that Maggie's leaving, Rick's leaving, and Michonne's most likely leaving because all she has is a season 9 contract. But she could sign a big deal too. So without Lauren Cohan and Andrew Lincoln, she could sign a big contract. She could be on for a 6-episode deal into season 10 or beyond that. We'll see what happens, but Michonne could lead. You don't believe that Michonne could be a leader? I do. Michonne's my favorite character, and I would watch and I would love it. Yes, we have Tara and we have smaller characters, but they can step up. They can have big things. And the comic deaths are coming most likely for season 9. But it could be revamped, remixed, and changed. We have Paul Jesus Rovia, which needs to step it up for sure. The comic version of this character is far superior than the show version. Maybe we get Heath back. Maybe we get Sherry back. Maybe we get a lot of twists and turns that keep the show going. Or maybe they add a new character just for the show. Aaron's still there, and he looks a lot like Comic Rick, even more so than Andrew Lincoln does. A huge beard, short haircut, looks pretty similar to Comic Rick, right? Ezekiel could definitely live. He could stay on. He could be around for season 9 and beyond. That would be a nice twist. You kill off one leader, keep the other leader around. Why not, right? You got Father Gabriel and Anne. Anne is definitely just for the show. She could be a good character. She could be a terrible character. We'll see what they do. Father Gabriel, is he going to have a bigger role? Can't wait to find out, guys. I'm excited, and I think you should too. Now, a lot of people are thinking that the Andrew Lincoln leaving is just a rumor, and it could be. We just don't know yet. We don't have visual confirmation and proof of actually seeing Andrew Lincoln saying it in an interview. Until that comes out, we'll have to just say, is it true or not? But it could be. It's looking more and more likely that it is. So if Andrew Lincoln actually leaves, why do you think he's actually leaving? To be with his family? Because of the Carl death? The writing? He's done with the show? Let me know your thoughts, guys. Also, what do you think of Norman's post? Is he adding fuel to the fire? Is he just spreading those rumors more? Is he just putting it out there that he's going to miss Andrew Lincoln and it's going to happen? And really, why do you think this information came out? And how did it come out? Is it just building up the hype for season 9? I don't know, but we'll have to wait till October to find out, guys. If you're new to the channel, like, share, subscribe, and comment. If you love The Walking Dead and daily content, you'll love the PT channel, so hit that subscribe button, become a valued member. And always remember, guys, with hard work, dedication, and belief, you can achieve it no matter what you're trying to achieve. Believe in yourself. If you can dream it, you can do it.